السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Today I'll present the last chapter in this course, Global Marketing, and this is chapter 9 on Global Market Entry Strategies. In other words, we will talk about the strategies which are available for any company to enter a global market or to be involved in global or international marketing. Then, or one or the following global market entry strategies will be presented: licensing, investment, and strategic alliances. Companies need to have a strategy to enter world markets. And as you see in the figure, that the different entry strategies are the following: export, licensing, contract manufacturing, joint venture, direct investment. And you see that these entry strategies are arranged according to the risk of following or adopting any one of them. The meaning that, I mean that export strategy as an entry strategy is the least one which has risk, and direct investment, to have direct investment in another country, this entry strategy is the one which has the high risk and at the same time has the high return. Before I talking shortly about each strategy, I would like to tell you that selecting a strategy is based on selecting an entry strategy by any company depends on the vision of the company, attitude toward risk, is if the company is aversive or not aversive for risk taking. This is another important issue or consideration in selecting entry strategies. How much investment capital is available? How much control is desired? These are the different considerations or different issues which should be considered when selecting the entry strategy. Let's give a short or a summarized background or meaning of each of these strategies. One important strategy is licensing. Licensing is a contractual agreement whereby one company, the licensor, makes an asset available to another company, the licensee, in exchange for royalties, license fees, or some other of compensation. Contractual agreement، اتفاق تعاقدي، in which one company is called the licensor، المرخص، makes an asset available to another company. The other company which use this asset of the original company is called licensee، المرخص له. مقابل ايه؟ in exchange for royalties، license fees, or some other form of compensation. What are the assets that a foreign country or another country might make to another company? Patent, trade secret, brand name, product formulation. Any one of these four issues, or we can call them assets: patent, or trade secret, how to do something, or brand name, if you give another company the availability of using its brand name, as what we see in franchising, McDonald's and so on. This is one type of licensing. As we come to this, يعني franchising is to give a brand name to another company. Even product formulation, how to manufacture a product, or what are the ingredients or formulation of a product, these are under or given from company which is a licensor to another company which is the licensee in exchange for royalties or license fees. يعني we give some advantages and disadvantages of licensing. Licensing provides additional profitability with little initial investment, of course. If I give the right, or if a company X gives the right or allowed another company to make the product under its name in exchange for royalty or license fees, this can be considered as additional profitability with little initial investment. The original company did not do any investment, just allowed or give the right of the product to another company. Provide method of avoiding tariffs. Suppose that there is a foreign country in England or America wants to export to Egypt. It will face tariffs, quotas, and other export barriers. In licensing, it will avoid all of these. This is another good advantage. Another advantage is attractive ROI, attractive return on investment. Return on investment is calculated by dividing profits by the total investment. And generally speaking, the low costs to implement license. Let's go to disadvantages to licensing. Limited participation from the licensee. Returns may be lost. The licensee might not pay the returns or the royalties to the licensor. Another lack of control. The licensor, it is difficult for the licensor to control the licensee for what he is doing. The fourth disadvantage, which is very important, licensee may become competitor. This happened a lot of times. After a licensee get the right to use or to know how the licensor make the product or the product formulation or know-how technology, he might have a separate business and becomes a competitor. There are special licensing arrangements or types of licensing, such as the most two important arrangements or types: contract manufacturing, to have a contract with another company to manufacture the product and give him or give this factory or this company know-how, technology. This is called contract manufacturing. Franchising, all of you know what is franchising. I think all of you are familiar with the fast food companies, fast food restaurants, McDonald's, Kentucky Fried Chicken, in which there is a contract between a parent company. The parent company of Kentucky Fried Chicken is in America, and it is called the franchisor. And a franchisee might be in Egypt that allows the franchisee to operate a business developed by the franchisor. The franchisor, the parent company in the United States, tells the Egyptian company or Egyptian franchisor, you can manage Kentucky Fried Chicken or McDonald's in return for a fee and adherence to franchise-wide policy. I would like to tell you something about franchising. You do not know in franchising, you do not know the name of the franchisee. And franchising is always or mostly is done in the area of fast food or services, but licensing is mostly done in manufacturing, clothes, medicine. In clothes or medicine, you might see that the name of the franchisor and the name of franchisee, the Egyptian company which has manufactured a specific type of medicine under licensing from, for example, a company in the United States or Britain. When you start to do franchising questions or any company wants to do franchising contracts in another country, there are some questions this company should ask. Will local consumers buy your product? Will Egyptians like or consume Kentucky Fried Chicken or whatever product is? Second question is, how tough is the local competition? How tough is the local competition in Egypt in this regard, in this industry? Does the government respect trademark and franchisor rights? You should consider this. Can your profit be easily repatriated? Can your profit be easily got? Can you buy all the supplies you need locally? For example, if we are talking about Kentucky Fried Chicken, is the supplies for this Kentucky Fried Chicken are easy to get from Egypt, or I have to import them from the United States or another country. This also is an important one. Is commercial space available and are rents affordable? Is commercial space, do you have a space in the Egyptian market? What about rents? Are rents affordable or very high? Are your local partners in Egypt financially sound? And do they understand the basics of franchising? All of these questions should be answered before you do any franchising contracts in any foreign direct investment, which is called joint ventures. Is an entry strategy for a single target country in which the partners share ownership of a newly created business entity. For example, just yesterday I have been informed from the TV that China has an agreement with an Egyptian company, Chinese company with Egyptian company, to manufacture gloves and masks. This is a type of joint venture. And even the Japanese ambassador said that the production will be 500,000 masks will be produced daily. See, then an entry strategy for a single target country such as China, in which such as China wanted to enter Egypt, the partners share ownership. China and Egypt share ownership of newly created business entity. The business entity is to manufacture masks and gloves. Advantages of joint venture, I say some of them. Allow for sharing of risk, both financial and political, right? Sharing risk. The risk in the Chinese Egyptian factory, the risk is shared between the Chinese company and the Egyptian company. Provides opportunity to learn new environment. Of course, opportunity for China to learn new environment, which is Egypt. Provides opportunity to achieve synergy. Synergy means combined effect. By combining strengths of partners. Combining strengths of partners. The Chinese know-how technology with the strength of labor in Egypt. For example, sometimes joint venture might be the only way to enter market given barriers. Sometimes there might be barriers to entry. Some countries might not allow a foreign country to enter, or for other reasons, then joint venture might be considered as the only way to enter market. The disadvantage represent joint venture requires more investment than a licensing agreement, of course. In a joint venture, you have to share the costs or expenses of establishing new entity, new manufacturing entity. Then you have to pay more. Must share rewards as well as risk. Also, you will share risks if the Chinese, Egyptian factory failed, then both countries, especially China, might have more risks. Also, joint venture require strong coordination between the two entities which share the new entity, the new factory. There is a possibility for conflict among partners, conflict between Egyptians and the Chinese companies. Partner may become a competitor after we have known how gloves and masks have been manufactured. We might become a competitor for Chinese companies. The nature of global strategic partnership. Participants remain independent following formation of the alliance. Participants share benefits of alliance as well as control over performance of assigned tasks. Participants make ongoing contributions in technology, product, and other key strategic. There are 5 attributes of true global strategic partnership. Number 1 is the first attribute. 2 or more companies develop a joint long-term strategy. Second is relationship is reciprocal. Partners' vision and efforts are global. Relationship is organized along horizontal line, not vertical. Relationship between partners in partnership is organized along horizontal lines, means that with equal authority. in making a decision. When competing in markets not covered by aliens, participants retain national and ideological identity. I consider what I have presented in this chapter. This is enough, and this is the most important issues in the chapter. Thank you.